everybody, it's Kim here. I am doing a video today on turning your A6 size planner that you get from Mommy Lay Designs. This comes in every single Little Bits box. Now the size does change sometimes. The last few months has been this A6, and I've had a lot of people ask how I change it to a pocket wide, and this is what I've got going on. This was in the September Little Bits box. It is a now a pocket wide size, where as you can see previously it was an A6, and it really doesn't take much time, energy, or effort to change it from an A6 to pocket wide. So I'm going to show you how to do that today. I did use my sewing machine, which is a plus, but it's totally not necessary. So I'm going to change the camber angle real quick, and I'm going to get my sewing machine out, and I'm going to show you how to do this. So the first thing what you're going to do is obviously open up your traveler's notebook. It does come with 2 inserts. I'm going to move these quite out of the way. It does come with 2 inserts, and I have taken those out, so you won't see those in this process, but they look exactly like this, and they come in your notebook, so you just want to take those out. The other thing you're going to want to take out is this middle elastic. This gets me a little nervous and in the way because I think I'm going to sew over it, so I'm going to go ahead and just put that to the side so it stays out of the way. And then the next thing you're going to do is these buttons here, these brads that hold the elastic in there and add decorativeness to the planner. I'm just going to go ahead and stretch those a little bit and get them out of the way so this lays super flat here on my surface. Now, like I said, you're going to want a good lighting for us old folks like me, and this pencil, and I like to use this see-through ruler. This is found at your craft stores, and I like it that it's see-through, and it's made for quilters. So the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and find the center of the notebook, which is fairly easy because it already has holes in it. And what we're going to do is move our ruler straight to the center of the notebook. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and mark 3/4 of an inch. And the reason is a pocket wide, and this is a reinforced spine, but we're not going to be adding any extra leather or any other thing to the spine. We're just using it as a decorative guide. But this width right here is 1.5 inches. And so obviously if you divide 1.5 inches, it's 0.75 on this side and 0.75 on this side. So what you're going to do is grab your pencil, count over 0.75, which I know is right here, and we're just going to go ahead and make a tick mark on that end. And you can see I let this pleather overhang a little bit, so I've got it that way. And then I'm not going to mark on this side because I'm going to use this as a straight guide. So I am going to flip it over onto this other side so I can see it a little bit better. And then I'm going to line up my edge using my straight ruler here, my see-through ruler. So I will always have a straight line if I line up this side, and it will constantly be straight on this side, if that makes sense. So I'm going to go ahead and just lightly press my pencil down, and then I have a guide mark where I'm going to sew and or bend. Then I'm going to repeat the process on the other side. Again, I'm lining up this side and this side with the ruler and drawing this straight line. There you go. We have our 1.5 inch guide. See, it's just there. I'm going to be stitching straight down these edges to create that reinforced spine, and I'm also going to be going around the edges. And you can obviously make guide marks if you're nervous about sewing. That would be my suggestion, is go ahead and make some guide marks. I'm going to go ahead and just freelance it as I go around the corners, and I'm going to use this wonderful purple thread that I have already in my machine. It's on the top and the bottom. I did not change the needle, and I did not change the tension. I'm just going straight up and straight in. All right, I'm going to sew for a little bit, and then I'm going to put you guys on hyperlapse. Make sure you keep your brads out of the way while you're sewing as well. All right, I'm going to change the camera angle so you can see a little bit better. Make sure you move those brads out of the way, and considering where I'm starting, I want you to make sure you do back up and move forward as well. And when you turn, when you get to the edge, when you turn, make sure your needle is in the leather, and then it will turn so much easier. And now we're just going to repeat on the other side. Here is what it looks like. It's looking great so far. I do need to do a little bit of trimming, and then I will work with you guys on the next step. I'm just going to go ahead and take you off camera and do the next stitch. All right, I put my sewing machine aside. Now I'm going to trim these extra edges of stitching. Again, not necessary to stitch. I just think it adds a little bit more pizzazz to the already fantastic planner. All right, I've gone ahead and clipped my stitching again. Don't forget to back stitch. That little bit of tick you won't even see because of the way we're going to do our next thing. So now is the folding part. This leather is super pliable, and all you need to do is use that line you've drawn or sewn on as a guide for folding. And so I want to keep the distance here between the edge and the stitching about the same here. It is very pliable. If you do make a mistake and it's not straight, it's not the end of the world, but I'm just going to go ahead and press down with my hands to make sure that's nice and creased. And again, this will be just slightly on the inside. Now, if you'd like to have another set of stitching on this side to mimic the stitching here on the inside of this spine, that's just fine. I'm just more or less doing it as a guide, and I also think it looks just fantastic that way. Again, this is something you can personalize absolutely on your own, and that's the best part of plannering for me. I love taking anything and turning it into something else. It's one of the things I absolutely love. All right, so now I felt like I've creased it enough, and I'm going to reattach our elastic. Again, it goes through the front to the back here super fast. And there you have it. You now have your own pocket wide from an A6 from the Mommy Lay Little Bits box. I can't wait to fill this baby up. Thanks guys, I appreciate you watching.